everybody, it's Chris Eads, Wootini over at GayGamer.net, here with another weekly video podcast, and I know that I said you'd never get a shirtless podcast out of me, but here is your topless podcast because it is like 100 degrees and it is ridiculous and I can't bear it. So anyway, and I have air conditioning, which I have to turn off for this because otherwise all you would hear is the air conditioning and I would have to shout. The heat is even worse because I basically just came back from a 4th of July vacation up at a small lake in Massachusetts where my family has like a little cottage that my grandfather built in the 40s. So it's really tiny, not year-round, but it's okay because it was 100 degrees. Well, it wasn't 100 degrees up there. See, that's the thing. Up in Massachusetts, in this rural community by a lake, it's like, 80 to 85. It might be 90 in the sun, but it's still nice, and you can jump in the lake to cool off. Here in Brooklyn, it's 95, 100 degrees, the concrete is just pushing it right back up at you, and you just want to melt or die, or both. So it's monstrous, and I hated coming back, but I had to come back. Basically, because I was on vacation for the better part of last week, there wasn't a whole lot of gaming going on, so I don't really have too much gaming to talk about, but I do have a hell of a story here, because basically I had my 3DS with me, so, for portable gaming, and I just basically played a lot of Animal Crossing and Project X Zone, which continues to be weirdly fun for a super linear game, where I don't know half the characters and can barely follow what is happening in this multi-dimensional storyline that makes just enough sense that things are happening and you're like, okay, but if you try to think about it, I'm like, I don't know what's really going on. But it's funny because I thought, oh, it'll be great, I'll go away, we'll go up to the lake, I can relax, I can read a book, I can watch a movie, I can play my 3DS, whatever. No. My brother and his wife have an 8-year-old and a 4-year-old. Well, she's about to turn 8. She's a 4-year-old. And the 4-year-old is especially, play with me, Uncle Chris. So I didn't really have a lot of time to just hang out and play. But she was fascinated because one night I was playing Animal Crossing and she came over and she's like, what's that? What are you doing? And I'm like, I'm fishing. She's like, oh, you caught a fish. And she was kind of fascinated by, like, what are you doing? Are you the little boy? Can you be a little girl? That's your house? And it was adorable. I think she's too young to actually play Animal Crossing, because I had given them, my nieces, one of my old DS Lites for Christmas. And, just for fun, with a few random games. I'm told that they enjoy the hairstyling salon DS game. I don't remember if I gave them Wild World, but now I'm thinking maybe I should, because at least my 8-year-old niece would enjoy playing it, probably. Though I think the 4-year-old is still too young, but she wanted to watch. And then later, after I shut it off and we were doing something else, she was like, can you play again? And I'm just like, no, it's charging. But there was a moment on Saturday when I had a complete panic attack and didn't know what to do. My cousin had come with her 2 daughters, and we were having a big barbecue in the backyard. It was a big barbecue birthday party for my niece, because her birthday is just after the 4th of July. So usually 4th of July we just get together and have a big family barbecue up the lake, and everybody comes and whatever. So anyway, my mother comes to we're all in the back, a bunch of us are in the backyard. My mother comes to the door and says that my cousin's youngest had my 3DS and was pushing buttons, and she doesn't know if she did anything. Is it okay? I go running over to the door, and I can see through the screen door, the picture is Rover from Animal Crossing, from the scene in the beginning where he's like, what's your name? What's the name of the town you're moving to? Are you a boy or a girl? And all that stuff setting up the game. My heart dropped. I didn't know what I was going to do. I was freaking out because I was like, oh my god, like, did she erase my town? Holy crap. And I literally walked out on the front porch, and my little 4-year-old niece was like, I didn't do it. And I'm like, I know. And the other one was just like, my cousin's daughter was just like, oh, what's happening? You know? And I'm just like, oh my god, I have to leave before I murder a child. And I just turned the power off, took a breath, turned the power back on, and thank God, I started Animal Crossing, and I saw Harry walking by my Superman standee, and I said, oh, thank God, the town is still there. Okay. It has not been erased. Okay. And I just started the game, and she's like, hello, Mayor Chris. It is July 6th. Let's go to town. And I said, that's fine. And I went to town, and I said, okay, that's fine. Save. Done. Whew! Oh my god, because if it had been erased, I would have had to go for, like, a walk around the island, because there's no way I could have been in the same house with that little girl, because that's, like, months of work on my Animal Crossing town that would have just been deleted in an instant, because some little girl was attracted by my Animal Crossing 3DS with the pretty colors, and said, oh, what's this? Poke, poke, poke. So I got very lucky. It then went to a much higher shelf, because I'd gone 3 days with it on that one shelf, totally within reach of children, but my nieces didn't care. They didn't want to play with it. They didn't know what it was. But she did. So then it went up to a very, very, very high shelf, out of the reach of everybody. But, whew, thank God, because I don't know what I would have done. To have to start over at this point, oh my god, it's been months. I've really built up my town. Although I have friends who already have perfect ratings on their towns because they've built all these... And I'm just like, how do I not have a perfect town yet? I've been working on it for months. My town is great. What the hell? But it turns out I don't have a perfect town because they still want more public works projects. The problem is that all the public works projects are really ugly and stupid. So I'm not developed enough. I built a frickin' rice rack because I was like, whatever, throw it in that corner, I don't care anymore. Just build something so these people will think that the town is okay. I know I need the Rossetti station, but it's like I can't bring myself to actually just shut off my game. It's for so many years since the original Animal Crossing, you save before you turn it off. And it's like to purposefully, like, do the save and continue, and then shut the game off. It just... I have a mental problem doing that. And I know I'm going to do it this week. I'll do it probably tomorrow or something, because I do need to build Rossetti. I need to see Rossetti and say, hey. I just... It's a weird mental block that I have, that I just can't bring myself to shut the game off while it's going. Whatever, anyway, okay, I am dripping already, so I need to go turn that air conditioner back on, so we are done, and I will see you next week. Bye!